Hey guys, creepy head Wally here with my 3D face on the screen. Just love this thing. It's everywhere. I put it everywhere that I can. So just chew on that for a little bit. Basically, what this video is going to go over is just a little case that we did, a 3-unit case, super simple. We have a very dark number 7. It's endo treated, obviously, on that 7. And then 8 and 9 fractures, cracks down the middle, and pretty healthy otherwise. I wouldn't want to mess with 10 or 11 or 6 or anything like that. So we're just doing these 3, which can be a little bit harder than, say, if we were just going to do everything and go ahead and match everything. So see some rotations. Patient did not want ortho. We begged her for doing some ortho. So here we are scanning with the original Emerald, not the Emerald S. So for those of you guys who have the Emerald Classic, I guess you would call it now, it's a fantastic scanner. I still use it all the time. Rotational based scanning. You notice a little bit different here when I'm working on the anteriors. I started scanning right on the anterior area. This really helps with the rendering of the anterior for crispness and clarity. Here I'm doing the HD snapshot overlays of the margins. Those are going into Remexis right to the 2-dimensional record as well, so there'll be photos. Now I am aligning my 3D printed smile design, and there's other videos on how to do that, to the preps. And you can see my smile design. I went a little crazy. I actually extracted the teeth in Mesh Mixer and then waxed up totally freeform, maybe a little unrealistically, but here we are. Now I am going to go and obviously scan my opposing. It's just a rough, quick scan. I don't like messing around. Premolar, premolar. And then the bite. Here in this version of the software, we're a little bit sketchy with the automatic articulation of the bites, but in the next version, it's slam dunk. Just need to get Laz to update me. Okay, so now what we got here is orientation separate and distinct for each individual tooth. Okay, very important. Marking the margin here with trace. Trace is just what you use. Inlays and onlays you could get away with paint, but most of the time I'm just tracing here, and you can see it's very easy to see. I altered the color kind of contrast and density for where I could see the margins well. Other people like different renderings, and you could change it. That's kind of cool. Got a weird kind of notch there. A little abfracted lesion was already in existence on that tooth, non-carious cervical lesion, and I didn't prep it complete, or I should say the student didn't prep it completely out here, so we're just kind of working around it. Now here is our scanned in 3D printed wax up. Now you always want a tangible 3D printed model. What if you need to provisionalize? What if your mill goes down? What if you don't have the blocks in, or whatever? People want to be able to bring in the original 3D design. That's cool. It saves you maybe 3 seconds from having to scan in the printed model. I do think it is a big priority, but I also think it's ridiculous not to have a printed model in hand. So that was a scan of the printed model of the wax up that was smile design driven. That's a different video, different time for that. But you always want to have something like that in hand. Now we're basically off to the races here with the design. So little tip, you need to bring the red, when you're cloning, you need to bring that red tooth incisal to the green tooth, just a smidgen. Now, because my wax up was a little unrealistic on the lingual surface, as in I didn't do an additive wax up for this case, I actually extracted the teeth virtually and then just free-handed, which is a little bit more difficult in a way. I don't know why I did that way. I was just tinkering. So, but now I have to deal with this kind of just dropper and smooth to get to that margin. No big deal. Okay, so we're literally probably, I don't know, 2 minutes into the design right now. Patient sitting in the chair, and you can see how fast it goes with when you're copying. You did all the work beforehand, and you could have scanned in temps. You could scan in anything and copy it. It's probably one of the most powerful features of the software, and a little underutilized, I think, because people don't fully understand how to clone. It's my most predictable way to design. So now just throwing on the occlusion and making it a little transparent, and then rubber tooth and dropper minus. Yes, dropper does go down. A lot of people don't know that. And I'm not going to mess with these too much. Proximal contacts I want to be this kind of Hawaii Oasis green, beautiful teal color. It's like my favorite color in the world. So if you look now, when you're dealing with multiple units side by side, you never want a concave proximal contact. So in fact, the distal should be slightly convex and the mesial should be pretty much flat. And so I'm adjusting each of the teeth together, kind of jumping back and forth to get them to where there's no concavities and mesial straight, distal slightly round. That's where you get into a lot of trouble when your proximal contacts are probably the single most important thing for anterior case success, not only for delivery but just seating and aesthetics. It's oftentimes overlooked, especially when you're designing yourself. Now we're done here. I'm going to close this black triangle just a smidge coming from the lingual. Not too bad there. So now we're going to go ahead and mill. I'm fortunate that at the university we have, 20 mills or so, but we're going to mill them all together. Now the 30S mill has been just a workhorse mill. It's a single spindle mill though, and it's a little bit more powerful in that it's got kind of the ability to mill things that it's really hard to do when you
now jump into finals.
You
You
can
see that
because it's able
we
to get
have the
emax medium
here's
translucency
delivery
B1 restorations
right after delivery
that have been delivered with adhes
emax medium
universal
translucency B1
and Verilink aesthetic
with adhes universal
neutral and Verilink aesthetic
and
neutral.
this is immediately
Very
after
nice.
delivery.
There is some
the
surface
thing that
texture there.
you
It's hard to tell from the
this
photographs.
photograph,
So we
surface
tried to do some
texture,
different
and
angles. I'm
you
not
could
very
kinda
good at
do some crazy things with
photography.
flashes and angles to
Nor
try
do
to
I have a
pick
lot
up
of time to mess with it.
a little bit
but
more of the
we're
surface texture,
in the
but
dental
I
student
always
clinic,
find it
so,
difficult to
you
do
know,
that with
my
my
photography
photography skills. I'm
really
not
have the luxury
really
of having
good
a lot
at
of extra time when
capturing
we're
that
trying
in
to do
the
these things in a
photos,
single
but
visit like this case
nevertheless,
was,
I tried.
and
But there she is.
You can
Super
see her
excited,
in full smile.
with
So
those
a
results.
little bit of an
and
improvement, but
just
man, it's
fantastic
just
experience
it's
for
really
students.
fun
So we're
doing
very,
these kinds
very
of
lucky
cases
to
and
be able to do
just
this kind of
seeing
cool
the
stuff
patient
on a
tear
daily
up
basis.
and transform them from being not confident to confident, especially in a dental school setting. So dental student here did a fantastic job.